Talking about me?
Very nice.
Yeah, we gave you a good
Yeah, you get mazel tov.
Mazel
Thank
tov.
you. Thank you, everybody.
A boy, a girl.
Little girl. Little
Very
girl.
nice.
Little girl.
Where is this baby located?
My daughter and son-in-law live in Washington Heights. He's in YU. But they're Baruch
right.
Hashem, they're here by us, which is a beautiful thing.
That's wonderful. You should have a lot of nachas.
Amen. Thank you.
You know that joke. You know the joke with that they always say. I'm sure you heard it. It's a real rabbi joke, so we got to make sure we say it. Right? How does it feel to be a grandfather? Right? It's to feel how it feels to be a grandfather is great. To be married to a grandmother is a whole different story.
I'm gonna borrow that one.
I mean, we have to stay over the same record.
Yeah. Anyways, okay. What?
What are you sitting under?
Am I sitting under?
Yeah.
You know what? The last week and a half, I'm sitting in a laundry room, so I figure I'm going to find the thing the most similar to a laundry room. No, I don't know. I'm by gate D2. I'm by gate D2.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know. All right, so let's go.
I kind of miss that laundry room now.
Yeah, I don't miss it. I don't miss it. I can tell you that. I don't miss it. Okay, so what are we up to? But
what time tomorrow, by the way, before we start?
We should have Kitzur Shir tomorrow, hopefully.
Why not regular
Kitzur
time?
Shir be Kitzur Shir should be whatever 10 to 8 and
because now you have to worry about
the daf as Hashem.
Okay, now you have to worry about Meyer. You can't do Meyer.
Well, Shki is still only 7. What time is it? Seitz is not 7. Probably about 7:45. No,
I think Shki is out until 7.
6:58 is Shkia today.
Yeah.
6:58 is Shkia
He's
today.
busy with those Myrams again. Here we go.
Yeah, it's back.
Okay,
into play.
so
what
back
about
into play.
no for you? If you're gonna go from 7, what's it called? What you have to
I'll
make
go
sure
to
that-
Sulitz. I'll go to
Okay.
Sulitz for Myers. Okay, where did we leave off? I don't know why I'm having a brain freeze where we left off.
Amar Marzutra. Amar Marzutra, smack in the middle, basically.
Oh yeah, Ad Khan. We're up to Ad Khan. Yeah. Okay, so tonight's stuff basically is all the limudim about how we know that a Nazir and a Kohen Gadol could become tummy to a base mitzvah, right? We need to have a limud. How do we know that they become tummy to a base mitzvah, right? So it's going to be all sukkim and limudim and all that. So Ad Khan like pligi. So the Gemara says till now, what's a machlokes? So we had machlokes yesterday's daf of who's more chashuv, a Nazir, a Kohen Gadol, Mashuach Milchama, a Sgan, right, etc., etc. So there's no machlokes ala b'kohen gadol v'nazir ki ka'azi b'hadei adadi. The whole machlokes is when they're both going together. So then when you have a shaila, who's the one that's supposed to become tummy first? But if each one is traveling by themselves, then he for sure becomes tummy, right? Meaning the whole machlokes is when there's two of them going. So who's the one that's supposed to become tummy first? But if each one is individually is the only one there, and they're walking and they see a dead body, so they have to take care of it. You know what I mean? How do we know they become tummy to a mace mitzvah? The Tanur Rabbanon al kol nafshos mace lo yava. So it says on all the he cannot come to any nefesh that's dead. But so what's supposed to talk about? If it's talking about people that are distanced from him, meaning not related to him. By the way, these psukim are by Kohen Gadol. If it's talking about people that are not related to him, Kal v'chomer. Right? It's a Kal v'chomer. Uma Kohen Hedjit, regular Kohen Shu Mitame L'Kroivim, who's allowed to become tummy to his relatives, ain't Mitame L'Rechokim, but he doesn't become tummy to anybody not related to him. Rachim means distant from him. Kohen Gadol she'ein Mitame L'Kroivim, so Kohen Gadol who doesn't become tummy to relatives. It's a Kal v'chomer that he can't become tummy to Rechokim. Right? So therefore it cannot be talking about Rechokim because that's Pashut. Again, it's a Pashut of Kal v'chomer. If a Kohen Hedjit is not allowed to become tamei to anybody other than his close relatives, right? So a kohen gadol who's not even allowed to become tamei to his close relatives, of course, can't become tamei to rechaykin. So that can't be what the mace that the pasuk's talking about. Must be talking about that relatives. He's not allowed to kohen gadol is not allowed to become tamei to relatives. Ula aviv hu de'ena metame. But it's mashma that only to his father does he not become tamei. Hamatame hu lemeis mitzvah, but he is allowed to become tamei to a meis mitzvah. Right, that's the diak to be made from the pasuk of where it says that his father. What's the exact pasuk? Right, the pasuk says, "Kol nafshes meis lo yavoy lo aviv ulimay lo yitama." Right? Why? What do you need that for? It's very important to know this pasuk for this Gemara. I don't know if you have the full pasuk on the side of your Gemara, but it says, "Kol nafshes meis lo yavoy." The kohen gadol cannot touch any nefesh that's dead. Lo aviv ulimay lo yitama, to his father and to his mother, he cannot become tamei. What are you saying? You just said for all nefashos you can't become tamei, and then your father and your mother you can't become tamei. Why is that necessary to say that? Right, so Elamai, you have to be diyukim. So we're saying that the diyuk is the father he doesn't become tamei to, but he becomes tamei to meis mitzvah. Okay, on Talmud Aleph.
Why can't it be because a regular kohen could be metame?
What?
A regular kohen could be metame. Go to the kohen gadol.
To who?
To a mother and a father.
A regular kohen is to a mother and a father, right?
So why can't it be the pasuk is coming up?
Because it says I'll call nafshes meis. It says I'll call nafshes meis. He can't go. I'll call nafshes on any.
But kohen also can't go on any except for seven. Except he has an exception. So the kohen gadol doesn't have that exception.
It doesn't say I'll call nafshes meis by a kohen hedji. At least I don't think. Right? It says I'll call nafshes meis. Then you don't. Why are you specifying father and mother? So we're gonna need a reason for that. So we're saying father. It says father because father you shouldn't become tamei too. I mean you shouldn't become tamei too. But Masha, there is something out there that you should become tamei too. That's meis mitzvah. Okay. Now on Amud Aleph imay. And why does it say mother? So that's a Gezeira Shava. Could look at the Rebbe. It's for Gezeira Shava, like Rebbe said. The Tanya Rebbe Aimer Gabi Nazir by Nazir b'Maisam Eina Matam. By when they're dead, he can't become tamei. Al Matamahul and the Goyim will Zibasam. Right, a person, a kohen, a Nazir, and a kohen gadol. We're going to see can become tamei to somebody who's a Metzaira or to somebody who's a Zav. Right? Meaning the only tumah that these kohanim, kohen gadol and nazir are not allowed to touch is tumas mace. Other tumas they can touch. Yeah, so that's what we're using for the imay for. Right? Okay, so that only tells you that a nazir is allowed to become tamei to somebody who has tsaras and to somebody who has is tumas zav. But how do you know this by kohen gadol? Amrit. So let's say lo yomer imay by kohen gadol. Don't say the word imay by kohen gadol. Shein tamid loimer, because you don't need it. Shaharei kava chaymer. It's a kava chaymer, right? Umayim b'makim shekoyin hedjid b'tamei la'achav aviv. If you have that a kohen hedjid becomes tamei to the brother from his father, a kohen hedjid is only allowed to become tamei to his brother from his father. He is not allowed to become tamei to a brother from his mother, right? So again, if a kohen hedjid is matama to his brother from his father, ain't kohen gadol matama la'aviv, but still a kohen gadol is not allowed to become tamei to his father. So makom she'ein kohen hedjid matama la'achav me'imay. So if it's in a situation where the kohen hedjid can't become tamei to his brother from his mother, ain't a din she'ein kohen gadol matama la'imay. So isn't it a kava chaymer that the kohen gadol can't become tamei to his mother? Meaning if the kohen hedjid can't become tamei to a brother from the mother, so we know that a kohen gadol is even stronger than that. So it must be that he can't even become tamei to his mother, right? So then why do you need to say the pasuk for? So im zechisa mihadin, right? So since we have a schus, we learned it out from a din. Matam elamer imay b'kohen gadol. Why do we say the pasuk of imay by a kohen gadol? Mufna, so it's available lahakish to make a hekish, meaning it's an extra word that we can make a hekish v'ladan hamenu gzeira shava, and we can learn a gzeira shava, right? Meaning it's interesting choice of words over here, right? Lahakish, because a hekish is a different type of limud, but here it means that we're using it as a comparison with Gzeira Shav. Namar imay ben Nazir says the word imay by Nazir, and then imay by Kohen Gadol says the word imay by Kohen Gadol. Ma imay ben Nazir, but Moisa meina matame ha matame u'len goyim l'ziv asam. Just like by Nazir, when it says that they become tamei, it says only tamei somebody who's tumas mace, but not somebody who has tumas tsaras and zav. The same thing by the imay that it says by Kohen Gadol, but Moisa meina matame doesn't become tamei by death. But he does become tamei for tsaras and for zav. Okay, so that's how we know that both Nazir and Kohen Gadol are allowed to become tamei for somebody who is tsaras or zav. Yeah, fairly straightforward. So now again, we know basically. So let's just the chaza. How do we know that a Nazir is allowed? How do we know that a Kohen Gadol is allowed to become tamei to a mace mitzvah? Because you have the extra psukim of Aviv. And Imai is coming to teach us that you're allowed to become tamei for tsaras and zav. But the main limud is from the word Aviv. Fine. Ashkan Kohen Gadol. Okay, so that tells us the Kohen Gadol can become tamei to a mace mitzvah. Nazir min alon. How do you know about a nazir? How do we know about a nazir? So the Tanya, it says, Kol yimei yazir l'Hashem al nefesh mace loy yavoy. Right? All the days of his naziris to Hashem, he should not come close to the nefesh of a mace. Shemeani afilu nefesh behema b'mashma. Maybe it also means that he can't become tamei to an animal either. Right? Kinyan shenemar maka nefesh behema. When it says that if you hit the nefesh of a behema, the Gemara, the Torah uses the lashon of nefesh by a behema. So maybe this means that a nazir can't become tamei to a behema either. It says no, he can only become tamei on a nefesh of a human, not a nefesh of a animal. Right? I think I stopped too soon. Yeah. Maybe Shmuel, you don't need a pasuk to tell you that a nazir that a nazir is allowed to become tamei to a human. It says don't lo yave. It says don't come to a dead body. But nafshe samatama is the bia because we're talking about a nefesh that becomes tamei through bia through tumas oil. Right? Remember we had that a couple of days ago. That the word bia means from nazir coming into the house. So animals don't make tumas oil. So therefore, since they don't make tumas oil, that's pashut that a nazir and a kohen gadol can become tamei to an animal. So then what does it end up saying? The pasuk says for the father and the mother can't become tamei. But he becomes tamei to a mace mitzvah. So we'll see exactly what he's learning out from Lav Elima. I actually had a shaila on this once where a guy asked me, or a lady asked me, I think it was the husband, that the rabbit died and the wife is pregnant. And there's this whole thing that pregnant women can't go to levayas, can't deal with mason. So they wanted to know if she's allowed to. She's very stressed out about it. If she's allowed to touch the rabbit and participate in the funeral of the rabbit. Right? So I said yes. I wasn't basing it on this Gemara, but yeah. But anyway, so that was the only time that I had some sort of shaila having to do with this. Anyway, so then the Gemara continues. Right? He says, why do I need the psukim for? I could learn it from Kavachaymer. And Gadol. We had this yesterday, this machlokes yesterday. Kohen Gadol, whose kedushas forever, Matama l'meis mitzvah becomes tamei to a meis mitzvah. Nazir she'en kedushas kedushas oilam, but a nazir whose kedusha is not a kedusha forever, ain't a dinshin Matama l'meis mitzvah. Of course, he should become tamei to a meis mitzvah. Meaning, we're saying a Kohen Gadol is holy forever, and he becomes tamei to a meis mitzvah. So, of course, a nazir who's only a nazir for 30 days should become tamei. The Gemara says, like, He might have a Kohen Gadol, Shekin Eina maybe Korban Al Tumasai. Kohen Gadol maybe doesn't, not so holy, because he doesn't bring a carbon. If he becomes tummy, he doesn't bring a carbon. He just becomes tar, and that's it. But Nazir should maybe Korban Al Tumasai. And Nazir does bring a carbon for his tumah. Hoyle maybe Korban Al Tumasai la Yitam la Meis Mitzvah. So maybe the reason why Nazir can't become tummy to Mason is because of it's because he brings a carbon. So that's why the pasuk had to say that they do become tummy to a mason mitzvah. Right? Okay. So the Gemara says maybe not. Maybe the diak to be made, which obviously this diak is not going to be made. It must be like a tongue-in-cheek type of diak. But what do you want to make a diak? Look, he can't become tummy to his father and his mother, but maybe he become tummy to other masons. Sort of diak like Naftali wanted to say before, right? Meaning we know that can't be. If he can't become tummy to his father and mother, he certainly can't become tummy to other just stam mason, right? So, but that is a diak to be made. It says la yitama. Okay, but other people can become tummy. So when it says no, I can't do that. Amrit kavachaymer. But you can say a kavachaymer. I'm not kohen hedjit shemetama lekroivav, and a metama l'shar mason. A kohen hedjit, right? A regular kohen who becomes tamei to his relatives doesn't become tamei to other dead people that are not related. Nazir she'ena metama lekroivav, but a nazir who doesn't become tamei to his relatives ain't a din shelo yitama l'shar mason. Isn't a kavachaymer that he's not going to become tamei to other mason. Right, so that's pashut. It's pashut from a kavachaymer that a kohen gadol cannot become tamei to other masons. So the Gemara continues on Amar Beis. Hamat Amar Laimar. La'aver L'imay. So now, what are you doing with the psukim of La'aver L'imay? So La'aver L'imay. Who do L'matama Matama L'meis mitzvah? To his father and to his mother, he can't become tamei, but he become tamei to a meis mitzvah. So the Gemara continues. It says, okay, actually, Yemer Yesh L'Bedin. But even if the pasuk wouldn't have made that deal of Ava V'imai, I would still I would know it from a kavachaymer. Nemru klalos b'kohen gadol. It says this is not klalos from the word cursing. That's with a kuf. This is a chaf. It says a blanket statement, the blanket rule by kohen gadol. But nemru klalos but nazir, and it says rules by nazir, meaning the way we saw the pasuk before, right? It says al kol nafshes meis lo yavai. That's a rule. That's a blanket rule, right? And then it says pratim, not the father, not to the mother. So it says this klal by kohen gadol, and it says a klal by nazir. Ma klalos, and whereas kohen gadol lovim ein mitama or mitama l'meis mitzvah. So just like by the rules by the kohen gadol, he to his father he doesn't become tummy, but he becomes tummy to a meis mitzvah. Af klalos, and whereas ben nazir lovim ein mitama, aval mitama l'meis mitzvah. He doesn't become tummy to his father, but he does become tummy to a meis mitzvah. Or I klach l'derozu, or maybe that's not the comparison. Again, we're comparing the rule that it says by kohen gadol to the rule that it says by nazir. Or maybe you should go a different way. Nemru klalis b'kohen hedjit. Nemru klalis b'nazir. It says a straight rule by kohen hedjit. It says lenefesh lo yitama. Oh, so Naftali, maybe it says you shouldn't become tummy to a nefesh. So that does sound like a basic rule. But never close. But Nazir, it says rule by Nazir. Ma close. And whereas Kayin Hedjid, when it says that rule by Kayin Hedjid, he becomes tummy to his father. Af close. Whereas but Nazir mitamala. Same thing by a rule that it says by Nazir, he can become tummy to his father. Tamid Limas, meaning so maybe there is a way to learn it that he does become tummy to his father. No, because it says the pasuk right? But he could become tummy to Meis Mitzvah. So Gemara says, but we need a pasuk. Now, the way he's learning it, you don't have a pasuk that tells you not to become tummy to the father, right? So what's that? So how are you learning that out? Ella, Gemara says, no. Ella la'avim, loimer shem etam la'avim. The word of it comes to tell you that the Nazir.
Yaakov, you couldn't see, but I gotta point out. But behind you, your Shalom and stuff and Yossi were just concocting some type of plan. Just FYI, they look very intense.
Oh yeah. Okay. The lounge should watch out. So anyway, so la'aviv tells you l'shem matama la'aviv. La'achiv ain't a matama, and to his brother he doesn't become tamei. L'meis mitzvah matama, but to a meis mitzvah he does become tamei. Ule'imai l'gzeira shava look the Rebbe, and the word imai is using the gzeira shava according to Rebbe, which was what we said that you're allowed to become tamei. They're allowed to become tamei to a nazir and to not a nazir, to a mitzaira and to a zav, right? And what do you do with the pasuk la chaisa to the sister? Look at the Tanya. We had this a few times. The Tanya la chaisa matam, right? What does the pasuk say la chaisa for? Right. So Hare was coming to tell us Hare shalach lishchait as pisay, b'lamal as benai. These are both chiyuv karas. These are mitzvahs assays. If you don't do them, you chayav karas. Right? Somebody doesn't have a bris, he's chayav karas, and somebody doesn't do korban pesach, he's chayav karas. Right, so somebody's going to shech the korban pesach, and to give a bris, v'shama shemeis lemeis, and he heard that a relative died. So yachol yatama, you would think that he should become tamei, right? Meaning it's two mitzvahs assays. The mitzvahs assay of becoming tamei to bury them, and there's a mitzvahs assay not to and to do the bris, and really to korban pesach, which you can't do if you're tamei. So Amrit, lo yitama, it's a pasuk telling you he should not become tamei. Okay, meaning he should not become tamei, and he skips the funeral. Yachal lo yitama the meis mitzvah. So you would think that he should not become tamei to a meis mitzvah. So it's teaching you that to a family member, he shouldn't push off doing the bris or push off the korban pesach that we're dealing with here, because meaning meis mitzvah takes a priority even over a mitzvah that's going to be a chiyuv karas. That's what we learn out from the word achos. Fine. Rabbi Kiva has a little different way of learning it. Right? Nafsha is elu arachaykin. The word nefasha. So the Bach and the Mesoras Shas changed the word to nefesh. So nefasha is or nefesh elu arachaykin. That's talking about those that are distant, meaning that the kohen cannot become tamei to somebody who's a distant relative. Mace elu hakroivin, and mace is for relatives. I'm sorry, this is not talking about kohen. This is talking about nazir. Mitzvah. The words of him and imai is coming to tell you not to be mitama to a meis mitzvah. La'achiv to the brother Shimha kohen gadol who nazir, because if he's a kohen gadol and a nazir, la'achiv ain't a mitama. Meaning now he's saying, now what do you need that pasuk for? So la'achiv is coming to tell you a new thing. He's a kohen gadol and a nazir, so it's a double whammy, right? So Shimha kohen gadol who nazir la'achiv ain't a mitama. He's matame to a meis mitzvah. La chaisoi, and what's a chaisoi coming for? The tiny right. So basically, he's similar, but he's got a variations of exactly which words you learn out. Again, the main diyukim that we're learning out by kohen gadol and nazir are from the words achiv, achaisoi, aviv, and imay. Fine. Rabbi Kiva gzeira shava the Rebbe minale. How does Rabbi Kiva know the gzeira shava of Rebbe? Right, Rebbe's gzeira shava was to tell you that they can become tamei to a mitzaira and to a zav. How does he know it? Amar lech, they'll tell you kivan damar mar. Im haya kohen gadol v'nazir la'achiv ein matama hu l'meis mitzvah. When it says he's a kohen gadol and a nazir, so to his brother he doesn't become tamei, but he's matama l'meis mitzvah. Mali kohen gadol l'chudei, mali nazir the kohen gadol. What's the difference? If it's a nazir by itself, and we say he becomes tamei to a meis mitzvah, what's the difference if it's a nazir and a kohen gadol? Right? So memela, what you don't need imai to teach the gzeira shava, because you should know it from the standards, from the case of nazir who is a kohen gadol. So since you know it from that, so memela we learn out the regular nazir, regular kohen gadol also. Fine. The Gemara asks Rabbi Shmuel, kohen gadol who nazir minale, right? Yishmael, who's the previous shita, he didn't have anything available. Now he doesn't have any words available to learn the case of a kohen gadol who's a nazir, right? Meaning that's much stronger. A kohen gadol and a nazir is stronger. So what I answer is given the shor rachman chad lav gabi meis. since the Torah does allow a lav by a mace, meaning 5 kabi mace mitzvah, since the Torah allows it, meaning if the Torah allows it for a nazir or for a kohen gadol, then mali chad lav, mali trey lav, and what's the difference? If you're allowing a lav, why should you not allow it if it's a nazir and a kohen gadol? Right? Meaning once you're allowing it, so you're allowing it. Fine. So achaysai lamali. According to Rabbi Shmuel, then what does he need the pasuk of achaysai? Right? Rabbi Shmuel, Rabbi Kiva had learned it for the case of the sister, of the sister that the guy is going to chef the Korban Pesach, and for the Milah, right? But what's Rabbi Yishmael going to do with the achaysai, right? So Sakadai Tachamina, you would think Kishar Rachmana Lebeis Mitzvah Nazir B'Koyin Yisur Lavehu. Maybe the only time the Torah allowed a mace mitzvah and a kohen to become tamei is for Isser Lav. About Milo Pesach, the chorus. But if Mila and Pesach, which is a fee of chorus, if they don't do it, maybe they should have become tamei to a mace mitzvah. Lo yitamel mace mitzvah. They shouldn't become tamei to a mace mitzvah. Kamash Milan. That therefore we learn that from the word achaysai that even a kohen gadol, even if somebody's going to bring the Korban Pesach, and even if somebody's bringing the Korban Pesach or the Milah, still base mitzvah beats everything, right? So basically, according to this last line, what the Gemara is saying is that even a chi of kares, meaning till now we're talking about lavim, but Nazir becomes tamei and a kohen gadol becomes tamei, so they're over on a lav. Okay, I mean that's not a good thing, but a mace mitzvah takes priority. But maybe a mace mitzvah does not take priority for being doing a fee of kares. So that's what the Gemara is saying. That's what the pasuk is saying from Achai. So we learn now that it's going to beat a fee of kares too. Okay, I hope that was semi-understandable. It's just a lot of judges and a lot of words. All right, tomorrow hopefully back to regular time.
Have a safe trip. Try to get some
I
sleep.
appreciate I hope so. I appreciate everybody tuning in a little early and having patience with my wacky schedule.
Safe travel.
And we appreciate you waking up this early to give us share this whole time.
Yaakov, we owe you the thank you.
Very nice of you. It's very nice of you.
What time you at? 7 o'clock?
I have my mother as a driver, and I have a guy coming to get me. So Baruch Hashem, I'm good to go.
Covered? Okay.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Hey, Tova.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
Go ahead.
What are you saying, Rachamim?
Guy, the interesting you mentioned about a lady with pregnant with the rabbit.
Yeah.
So the way they used to check if a lady was pregnant was not with all these blood tests now. They used to take the blood test and inject it into a rabbit. And if the rabbit died, that was a riot. She was pregnant. So this is years ago. This was 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 70 years ago.
Nice.
But that was
serious?
It was the rabbit test. Yeah. There's a famous book that was.
That's great. I'm going to CVS to buy a rabbit.
I never heard that one, Rachamim. That's a new one to me.
Ask your mother.
I'll ask my mother. Yeah.
Sounds like you're confusing a doctor with a bad magician.
Now you know we had so many dead rabbits in the backyard.
I should have known when the rabbit died. A lady had 8, 10 kids. So the rabbit fell off the table and died. So she says she should have known then. But that's it's an
interesting one.
Okay.
All right.
Fine.
Okay, have yourselves a fine night.
Have a safe trip.
Chicago, my brother-in-law had a girl, Avi.
Who?
Avi Goldstein.
Oh, Mazel Tov. Very nice. Very nice. Avi Goldstein.
Jacob, pop a few pills, man.
I don't know. I think